You are listening to the Gallery Conversation with Lee. This is a bonus episode. Hey, everybody, thanks for listening to today's episode of the Gallery Conversation. I'm Lee, and today's episode is about a future episode. Usually, the bonus or the intent of the bonus episodes is to reflect on an episode that we have previously recorded. But this bonus episode is about an up and coming episode that should be publishing on tomorrow, the 1st of November. Now, this episode is going to talk about interracial relationships, the statistics, who's getting married to whom, and so on and so forth. And I mention the word Hispanic quite often. Now, usually I use the word Latino, and I just think that that's because of the people that I'm around refer to themselves as Latino Americans or as Latinos. And so out of respect, that's just how within our own casual conversation, that's how I refer to most Spanish speaking people who come from Spanish speaking nations. However, when I use the word Hispanic, it's from researching and reading the Census Bureau, which uses the word Hispanic, Latino, and Spanish interchangeably. There's a lot of times when you read the language on Census Bureau and they really don't make a distinct difference between the three. And I have come to find out that there is a distinct difference between the three. So I want to apologize. My intent is not to offend anyone. My intent is to be respectful. So if you ever need to point anything out to me that may be culturally insensitive, go right ahead. My goal is to stay educated and to stay abreast on, certain issues, and especially culturally. I don't want to offend anyone. And if I did, I apologize. But I am doing my best to educate myself and in the ways of how people refer to themselves. I know a lot of times when you listen, you'll also hear me say African American and Black American, and that is because I know that within this culture that there are people who do not refer to themselves as one or the other. So if you were ever wondering when you listen to this podcast, like, why is she saying African American and Black American? Like, those things aren't the same thing. And I do that because a lot of times for a lot of people, they are not the same thing. There are some people who very